What are the top 5 luxury suburbs around Nashville, more specifically Williamson County? If that's what you're curious about, then stay tuned because that's exactly what we're talking about in today's video. Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Caitlin Martin and I'm a local Nashville real estate agent and founder of the Caitlin Martin team. We specialize in helping families make the move to the Middle Tennessee area. Whether it is 2 weeks, 2 months, or 2 years, we're talking with families every week and helping them make the dream of making the move here a reality. Now, if this is your first time stopping by my channel, thank you so much. Please feel free to click subscribe down below so that you're the first to know every time I release new video content all about making the move to the Middle Tennessee area. Now in today's video, we are talking about the top 5 luxury suburbs in Williamson County. If this is your first introduction or maybe you're still early in your research in terms of where you might want to move, let me give you a quick idea of what exactly we are talking about. So I actually recently did a video about the top 5 luxury suburbs in Davidson County. Now this is all in the Middle Tennessee area. Davidson County is the community that's going to be right around the heart of Nashville and its surrounding areas. Now, Williamson County is going to be just below, and Williamson County is going to be home to communities like Brentwood, Franklin, Nolensville, those that you've probably come across in your research. So we're going to be talking about where the top 5 luxury communities are in Williamson County. So let's go ahead and dive on in. Up first, we're going to be talking about Brentwood. Now, Brentwood is a community that is very popular for several reasons. Brentwood is going to be located about 15-20 minutes from downtown Nashville, so it has a very convenient location. In fact, if you take a look at this map, you can see that Brentwood is going to be located just south of Nashville. You go right down 65 and there's Brentwood. Couple of things to know about Brentwood really quick. Brentwood, for the most part, is going to be within Williamson County. There is a sliver of Brentwood that runs along the county line that actually does fall into Davidson County, but the majority of Brentwood you're going to find in Williamson County. Now, Brentwood is going to be one of those that's going to carry one of the higher average sales prices for the Middle Tennessee area. In fact, as of March 2024, the average home sale price for a single family home in Brentwood was sitting right around $1.45 million. Couple of things to know about Brentwood. This used to be farmland that has been developed into residential neighborhoods. The majority of the real estate that you're going to find in Brentwood is going to be established neighborhoods, and because it was farmland, they actually tend to have these communities, even the established communities, where the homes are going to sit on just a little bit bigger size of a lot. A lot of times when I'm talking with families who are looking to make the move, one of the things that I continue to hear is we don't want to be jammed in with our neighbors. And so Brentwood does provide that opportunity where even in the established communities that have been around 20, 30, 35 years, you're gonna find that those communities tend to just sit on 0.3, 0.4, 0.5 acres or a little bit more, just depending on which community it is. Another thing to know about Brentwood. Brentwood is going to be home to a couple of gated communities. One of the most recognizable gated communities is going to be the Governor's Club. The Governor's Club is a well-established gated community that has its own golf course, it has its own country club, but within the Governor's Club, it is 24-hour gated security. And so within the Governor's Club, most of the homes that you're gonna find in there have been established for several years. Of course, though, there is a handful of opportunity for some new builds within the Governor's Club. And then in addition to these communities, there are still brand new communities that are developing. One of the most recognizable right now is going to be the Rosebrook community. The Rosebrook community was actually home to the 2022 Parade of Homes. I did a video on those homes back then. They're actually one of my most popular videos. If you want to check those out, you can. We'll link them down below. We'll also put them up here. So we do have Rosebrook, which is going to be kind of one of the standards of these new communities that begin to emerge. So Rosebrook, again, you are going to be sitting on lots that are going to be a little bit bigger. Now within the Rosebrook community, they do vary, but from about half an acre to more, just depending on where it is in the neighborhood. You have several builders that build within that community. Again, if you want to learn more about Rosebrook, I have done a recent video about Rosebrook, so you can go and take a look at that. So now when it comes to Brentwood, If you are somebody that would love the convenience of Brentwood, but maybe you're not wanting all of the yard to take care of, there are going to be a couple of other communities, one being Callie, C-A-L-L-I-E. That's another community where it is true luxury in terms of the homes that they've built, but that's actually a community where the homes, they almost act more like a truly luxurious townhome just because of their close proximity. But you still, this is just one where you can get that true luxury home without, say, all of the yard and maintenance upkeep. Now, a couple of other things to know about Brentwood, because I know when I start to talk about Williamson County, a lot of people have questions in regards to shopping and things like that. So Brentwood, the nice thing about Brentwood, again, is it's going to be its location. You're about 15-20 minutes into Nashville. At the same time, you're about 15-20 minutes into Franklin, depending on where you are in Brentwood. You also have close proximity to Cool Springs. Cool Springs is one of the major hubs within the Franklin area for shopping, restaurants, grocery stores, you know, home improvement stores like Home Depot and Lowe's. All of that typically is right there within the Cool Springs area. However, in Brentwood, you also have another designated shopping center called the Hill Center. This is going to be running along Franklin Road. It's where Old Hickory Boulevard and Franklin Road meet. It's going to be just south there. So you do have that close convenience as well. These are some of the reasons why people love living in the Brentwood area. And so again, with Brentwood, the average sales price as of March 2024, it was sitting at 1.45, but really there are other communities within Brentwood where that price point significantly scales up just depending on where it is that you're looking. The other thing to know about Williamson County in general is one of the reasons why people are drawn to Williamson County if they have a family is because of the top rated school scores that you will find within Williamson County. Within Brentwood in particular, you actually have Ravenwood High School, which is one of the only schools in the Middle Tennessee area that's rated a 10 out of 10. So if you want to go the public school route, Ravenwood High School is one of the reasons why people consider living in the Brentwood community. So now that we've talked about Brentwood, we're gonna head a little further south down Interstate 65 and we're going to talk about Franklin. So Franklin is going to be another luxury community within Williamson County. Now Williamson County is going to be considered the most expensive county within Tennessee. However, when you look at the cost of living, Williamson County still falls 0.5 below the national average. Now, one of the biggest drivers of our cost of living in Williamson County is going to be real estate. It's going to be our housing. Now, Franklin has really grown in notoriety over recent years just because it continues to top these lists of various media outlets. Franklin has been deemed the prettiest town, the most charming, the friendliest, the most romantic. It's also been considered the nicest place in the South, and it has been deemed the Southern Dream town. So there's a reason why people continue to want to move to Franklin. And part of the reason why people want to move to Franklin is because you get that small town feel and you have the really charming downtown community. That is part of the reason why Franklin continues to top this list, just because the Franklin downtown area is extremely charming. And it's just, it almost feels like you're stepping into a Hallmark movie or stepping back in time when you go for a stroll on Main Street. And so people love the Franklin community. Also, Franklin still in Williamson County, and you can still find that the schools that Franklin's zoned for continue to be higher rated school scores according to greatschools.org. So you have a lot of people looking to move to the Franklin area. And as of March 2024, the average home sale price for a home in Franklin was sitting at 1.148. And so Franklin is one of these communities that we've seen have explosive growth in recent years. In fact, from 2010 to 2019, it was considered one of the fastest growing cities. And as of the 2020 census, there's around 80,000 residents in Franklin now. So in Franklin, you kind of get a little bit of a mix of everything in terms of what you're gonna find. So you certainly are going to see that you have these neighborhoods, especially around the heart of downtown Franklin, that that are going to be more of that 2-story brick colonial southern style. So those are gonna be homes that you're gonna find, but at the same time, Franklin has really grown in its luxury market. So in the luxury space, you're gonna find in Franklin that you have homes that are gonna be in luxury communities, as well as you're gonna find homes that are gonna sit on more acreage, allow you to really get that rural feel with, say, a beautiful modern farmhouse. Franklin really varies in the type of different luxury real estate it offers. And so to actually give you an idea, we're gonna go take a look at the MLS just so you can see what Franklin has to offer, because again, some of these houses that are sitting in these luxury price points are gonna be homes that they're gonna be a little bit closer. They're gonna sit more on about 1/4 of an acre lot, and they're gonna be in these established neighborhoods that come with amenities. And then at the same time, you're gonna find that you're gonna have other communities where they are gonna sit on a little bit larger of a lot. And Franklin is also known for having these homes where builders go in and they find this great piece of land and then they build a gorgeous, stunning home on that land. So you have a little bit of everything. So let's actually take a look at the MLS and see what it is that Franklin has to offer in terms of its luxury real estate. Okay, so we're taking a look at the MLS just so you can kind of see just what we have to offer in terms of luxury real estate. This also kind of gives you an idea of where just Franklin's located on the map. And so as you can see, you know, we're starting here at the 1.15, which is right around where the average home sale price in Franklin was as of March of 2024. And as you can see right here within the snapshot, you can see we've got existing homes, we've got homes with pools, we've got new construction. If we take a look at this map, and really pricing can vary here within the Franklin community. So as you can see, we've got a 1.15, but then there's also down here, we've got a stunning estate for 65 million, you know, 37, 16, 5, 14. So as you can see, you know, Carter's Creek Pike here sitting right at 10. You also are going to have this house, Prince Valiant, is a fabulous home. I've been inside of it. But you can see that really when it comes to luxury real estate, it's going to vary. So really, as I scroll, you can see, you know, you're going to have more of this Cape Cod Southern style home. You do have this cabin. You've got more of the traditional style home with these columns and arches. So really, it's going to vary just depending on what it is you're looking for. You know, we've got homes that are going to sit on land that have the creeks that run through it, but then, you know, this home right here in Bon Air, this is going to be located in the West Haven neighborhood. So when it comes to our luxury real estate, it really just varies depending on what it is that you're looking for, especially within the Franklin community. Okay, so that was taking a look at what the real estate was in the Franklin area. As you can see, it really just varies depending on where you are in Franklin and what it is that you're looking for. Now, the next community we're going to talk about is still according to the address in Franklin, but to me, it's a little bit more of one of our hidden gems here in the Middle Tennessee area. Now, more people are becoming aware of it, and so it's not quite as much of a secret as it used to be, but it's going to be the Leapers Fork area. Leapers Fork is going to be one of those communities where it truly is going to have some of our most expensive real estate. Leapers Fork is going to be a little unincorporated town just outside of Franklin. It's about 10-15 minutes outside of the heart of downtown Franklin. In Leapers, you are not going to be finding established neighborhoods. Leapers is where if you want a house on acreage, Leapers is the place to go. That's what you're gonna find. They've done a really good job of making sure that Leapers itself has not been built up. Now, Leapers Fork, it does have its own tiny downtown area. However, where you feel more like you're in a Hallmark movie with downtown Franklin, the strip there in Leapers Fork, I mean, it's so quick that if you drove through it, I mean, you would know that you have seen it, but it's not even as long as the couple of blocks that make up Main Street in downtown Franklin. With Leapers Fork, I mean, it's really charming. You've got Fox and Lock is a great place. Like if you're coming to visit, that is one that I would absolutely recommend you go check out. Fox and Lock, you need a reservation, but they do singer-songwriter nights, and you never know if a recognizable artist may pop up and sing. But Leapers Fork, really charming. It's got its own spa. It's got a place called Wines in the Fork. It's got art gallery galleries. It's got lots of great little shops. So Leapers Fork, absolutely charming. And it is a great community if you were looking to have more of that acreage where, you know, 5, 6, 7, 10 and more acreage, and also having a luxury property. Also in Leapers, you're going to get beautiful views. It's one of my favorite places to drive through just because the views, you know, as you make your way through the rolling hills, it is absolutely stunning out there. In fact, I'm going to show you just a few properties that are an example of what you can get in Leapers, but really the home styles can vary. You can get that modern farmhouse that people have really loved in recent years, or you can get more of that true modern style. So it's really going to vary. That's one of the great things about Leapers Fork. And so let me show you a couple of examples of what you can get in Leapers. Also to know, in Leapers Fork, there is the new luxury inn called South Hall. So if you're local here, you can go check out South Hall, but they're really big on farm to table. They've got an event space, they've got an inn you can stay in addition to cottages that sit up on a hillside. South Hall is fantastic. They have an incredible spa out there as well, but that is one of the newest amenities that is going to be out in Leapers Fork. So let's take a look at a couple of properties that would be an example of what you could find in Leapers.
Okay, so here is going to be a map of Leapers Fork. I wanted to first show you where it was. So you can see downtown Franklin is noted here with the star. Leapers, it's going to be just a little southwest, and it's really going to encompass this area here before you get to Fairview. Like, that's a good generalized area of where Leapers Fork is. So if we go ahead and take a look over here, this cluster that you see right there, that's West Haven. West Haven is going to be one of the closest, because West Haven has its own Kroger grocery store. That's going to be one of the closest grocery stores to the Leapers Fork area, because that's the thing, is Leapers Fork is not going to have, you know, say its own grocery stores and shopping. It's definitely more of that rural type community. However, West Haven is going to be one of the most accessible to get in, you know, if you need quick groceries. And then there's also going to be Cool Springs. And you also could go into Fairview as well, just depending on where you are in Leapers Fork. And here's another great example, this Panorama Valley here. So this is going to be in the Leapers Fork community. This is considered Sloan Valley Farms. This is an example of, this home is only a year old, but home is an example of just what some of the new builds can look like there in the Leapers Fork area. It's got a lot of beautiful craftsmanship, a lot of windows to allow in natural light. When this home was on the market before, we actually did a showing at this house. It is absolutely stunning. And even though it is part of a community of just a few homes, this area, because of the way it's set back on this lot that's got the acreage, it really makes you feel like you're secluded, that you really have that peace and serenity, even though you do have some neighbors within a close proximity to you. Again, that sits on just at 7 acres. So again, these are just examples of the kind of real estate that you can get in the Leapers Fork area.
Now we're going to take a look at the next community, which is going to be Arrington. To me, Arrington is one of these communities that's a little bit lesser known. You know, when people are searching in the Middle Tennessee area, they're looking at Brentwood, Franklin, Nolensville area, but yet Arrington is another great option, especially if you're looking to have more of that small town rural feel without having to be too far away from your amenities, your grocery store. So whereas Leapers Fork definitely is going to give you more of a remote feel, and like I said, there's not really those true established neighborhood communities. In Arrington, you're going to have a gated community called King's Chapel, and you're going to have a couple of other newer developments. Arrington's one that has seen a lot of growth here in recent years because people have realized that Arrington is one of these communities that is going to give you that feel. You can be an established community, so you can have neighbors, but yet you're not in the hustle and bustle of, say, closer to Franklin, for instance. So Arrington, one of the drawbacks, or what some people could say is a potential drawback, and really it all depends on what's most important to you, but with Arrington, similar to Leaper's Fork, it's not going to have its own designated shopping center. It's not going to have its own grocery stores, its own restaurants, things like that. That could be a potential drawback, but at the same time in Arrington, you get beautiful property, you're sitting amongst the rolling hills, and yet you're still not that far away from all the conveniences that Franklin or Nolensville has to offer. Those are kind of your two areas to go to depending on where you live in the Arrington community. You know, sometimes people recognize the name Arrington because of Arrington Vineyards. That is one of the, prior to all of the development that we've seen in Arrington, that is basically what Arrington was about, was Arrington Vineyards, which is our small vineyard that we have here in the Middle Tennessee area. And one of the owners of Arrington is actually Kix Brooks of Brooks and Dunn. So Arrington Vineyards was kind of the reason why Arrington was known. But in Arrington, again, you're going to be able to get homes that are going to be in communities. You know, there's Hardiman Springs, which is a great newer community with luxury property. Again, I mentioned King's Chapel. King's Chapel, it is established, it is a gated community. However, they do have a section that continues to be developed right now. So there is more new construction options happening within King's Chapel. So we're going to take a look at just what some of the real estate looks like there. In Arrington, the average home sale price as of March 2024 for a single family home was around 1.26 million. So again, Arrington, it can carry a higher price point traditionally. You know, when you're looking at areas like Franklin and Brentwood, yes, we've talked about their average home sale prices, but within those communities, you're still going to have the opportunity for homes that are going to come at a more affordable price point. So you do have more of a range. However, in Arrington, you're really going to see less variation with pricing just because the communities that have been developed there are already really carrying that luxury price point as it is. So let's take a look at what some of the Arrington real estate looks like.
Okay, I wanted to show you quickly. I know we've talked a little bit about the location of Arrington, but as you can see, it's going to be located here between Interstate 65 and where Nolensville Road is. So it's going to be this community here as we zoom in. You know, Murfreesboro Road is going to be the main road that's going to run through Arrington. Arrington Vineyards is going to be right here below 840. You have seen more established communities start to be built within Arrington. So let's take a look at the real estate. So here in Arrington, again, you can see these are going to be some new build homes that you're going to find in Arrington. You do have a couple of, you know, those more established properties that have a little bit more in terms of yard space, but you know, Majestic Meadows, this is going to be an example of what you can get in King's Chapel. As you can see, this is a new build. We'll just kind of scroll through the pictures. This is going to be a Drees home build. Drees is one of those that's going to have some more distinguishable features to know exactly who the builder was. But Drees and Tennessee Valley are some of the builders that are going to be within the King's Chapel community. So again, I just wanted to be able to show you what is possible. This Porter's Union Way, again, this is going to be Hardiman Springs. Take a quick look at just what this home has to offer. Hardiman is going to be one where, again, this is a newer community. You're going to sit on a little bit larger of a lot size. So this is just an example of just what some of that real estate looks like within the Arrington community. And so, and going back to this map, I did just want to point out again, in terms of, because Arrington doesn't have its own shopping centers, grocery stores, things like that, you're going to be best served with Franklin or Nolensville. And you're generally going to be about 15 to 20 minutes away from those grocery stores, just depending on where you are in Arrington.
Now, our last luxury community that we're going to talk about is College Grove. College Grove traditionally is going to carry the highest luxury price point in the Middle Tennessee area. College Grove, it is actually, you know, you'll see College Grove on the address. It's its own town within Williamson County. Within College Grove, there's actually two gated luxury communities. One of them being the Grove, which is a large community. It has been around for several years. So you can get established homes. However, they are continuing to build, and in fact, they are in their final lot release within the Grove. Now, I've done a video on the Grove. If you want to learn more about that, I'll link it down below. You can click up here to go check that out as well. The Grove has a lot to offer. And so because though that this is truly a luxury community paired with the other luxury community called Troubadour. That's why College Grove is going to be leading the charge when it comes to the luxury community. Now, yes, you do have these two established communities. However, within College Grove, you're not limited to just those two communities when it comes to housing. You're also going to have the ability to get a home that's going to sit on a little bit more land, but College Grove overall is going to command a higher price point. In fact, as of March 2024, a single family home in College Grove, the average sales price was just shy of 2.1 million. So again, College Grove, it is going to be known as one of our top premier luxury communities within not only just Williamson County, but within the Middle Tennessee area in general. And again, it's going to be because of Troubadour and the Grove. So let's go ahead and take a look at what those communities have to offer in terms of real estate.
All right, so here we're taking a look at where College Grove is going to fall on a map. So this marker here is going to be a little bit further south, but as you can see, if I zoom in just a bit, that's actually where the Grove community is. So it's super convenient access to get on Interstate 40 to get into Franklin. So just an idea, this is where College Grove is located. Now let's take a look at just what it has to offer. So again, this Horton Highway is going to be a great example of one of those properties that you can find within College Grove that's not going to fall within the Grove or the Troubadour. So we'll just take a look. Now there are a couple of other established communities that are going to be lesser known, but you still have a great opportunity. This one right here in particular falls in Reedsvale. That's a newer community within Williamson County. But as you can see here, it does state, again, this is truly College Grove. It is its own town. So this is just an example of a new build that you can get outside of those other communities. But then let's back out and take a look here. So again, this Bosque Lane, that's gonna be another example of just a home in College Grove that sits on almost 5 acres, no HOA. So again, great example that you don't have to be within those communities, but what you could get within College Grove. And then as we continue to search, so as we take a look, so Heirloom Boulevard, Joyner Creek, Belladonna, these are all going to be falling within the Grove. So let's take a look here at Belladonna. So as you can see, newer home. Now this part of the Grove, and I actually dive into this in the video where I talk about the Grove, they do have a section where the homes are going to be closer together. Now that's because they wanted to offer a portion of the neighborhood where you didn't have to have the larger lot. So this is just an example here of one of those homes that's going to be sitting on Belladonna where that particular section of the community is located. Now here, this is actually, I'm going to show you this. So this is Owendale. This is going to be in a community of 9 homes within College Grove. They're all going to sit on great acreage, as you can see. I mean, that is truly picturesque. This property is one of a kind. So you really can find, do you want a home in a community? Great. Are you looking for more of a unique property like Owendale? Great, there's that available too. And then I'm going to scroll down here just a little bit to give you an idea of what you can get within Troubadour, which as you can see, this is Troubadour. Now Troubadour, typically the price point there is going to start at 4 million, whereas in the Grove, you're closer to that 2 million entry price. So as you can see, this is just an example of what you can get within Troubadour. Now Troubadour and the Grove, even though they're both gated communities, they're certainly going to have their differences, and I do go into that in a video where I talked about the gated communities within Williamson County. They have two very different aesthetics, two very different vibes within the community. So if you're interested in learning more, that's one where I would recommend reaching out, us doing the tours to see which one feels like it's a better fit for you. They're both great communities. It really comes down to what is the better fit for you. So I just wanted to show you an example of just some of the luxury property that you can find within College Grove.
Now, a couple of things to know about College Grove, similar to Arrington and similar to Leapers Fork. Now, these communities are not going to have their own designated restaurants and grocery stores. In the Grove, you will have a smaller general store where you can get a couple of items, but again, you're gonna be headed into Franklin for things like a grocery store, whereas the grocery store in Franklin that's going to be the closest to the Grove is going to be located in Berry Farms, and there you're going to be about 12 minutes or so away. So really that grocery store in Berry Farms, you're going to be around 12 minutes away, just depending on traffic. But College Grove is a great community. Really, both of those gated communities, the Grove and the Troubadour, they offer so many amenities that even though you are going to be a little bit further away from some of those conveniences, the community itself offers so many amenities that you don't always necessarily have to leave. Truly within the Troubadour, they have services that are part of your membership that if you need someone to go do the grocery shopping for you, you absolutely can have that done. Now, when it comes to schools, within College Grove, you are going to be zoned typically for Franklin schools. Fred J. Page Middle and High are typically the ones that you're zoned for when you are in College Grove. So you're still falling within those higher rated school scores that Williamson County is known for. You know, similar, and Arrington is very much the same as well. It's just those tend to be communities that are a little bit lesser known compared to, say, the bigger names like Franklin and Brentwood. So if you are thinking about making a move to the Middle Tennessee area, if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to reach out to me. All of my contact information is down below. If you're ready to start that conversation, I actually have a link to my Calendly, so you can go ahead, book a Zoom call so we can start that conversation. If you're not ready for that just yet, that's okay too. I have a free Nashville relocation guide located down below. Again, my name is Caitlin Martin. I'll see you next time.